Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, except infants, please don't bring those to our show. They'll just cry and it's, oops, I'm sorry, it's showtime. Hi there, guys. I'm back again, like it or more likely not. New game, The Last Caretaker. Hey, Lone Star Wolf. You just missed in getting under the 1 minute since I pressed the start button. Just by like a second or two. But really fine effort. One more day to your weekend. You can make it. So, having finished Aethus, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to play, and I browsed Steam and I looked at like, I don't know, maybe 8, 10 games. Effort does count around here, so excellent work. And I saw this sort of a science fiction-y survival-ish game, and I just finished one of those. Let's try another. It's on sale. It's The Last Caretaker. It has very good reviews. It is in early access. Earlier today, you meant to mention it. Well, no, you don't have to. Yeah, I just went browsing, pardon me for a second. On Steam, you know, the spring sale has started. And I wasn't even specifically looking for, oh, gee, maybe I would like another science fiction survival game. Ah, that helps me sleep, you know, the sheep. Oops. Oh, I guess I have a physics. I have a physical presence. Inventory. Nothing. Skills. Repair tool and a torch. Enhancers. Little blue pills. What does that mean? Just kidding. As far as you know. Build. I have an optical lens. I would prefer to call that a magnifying lens, but sure, they can call it optical if they like. I made my robot as pasty and bald as I am. Had they given me control over it, it likely would look exactly like that. I have no quests, no tasks. In the vault, I'm level 1 of 30. We have an action bar. Let's see. Toggle switch. Okay, the light switch didn't seem to actually turn on a light, but okay. I can grab the computer, so we can grab things. Maybe...
It's dark and quiet now, but it doesn't have to stay that way. Reconnect the power. Bring this place back to life.
The VO has got to go up. Let's see. Connect power cable. Power cable. That's a medium battery. We have a computer. We have a poster to preserve what remains. Let's see. Connect cable and turn on. Where is the cable? That's plastic pallet. Oh. Oh. Hi. Are you, Oh, he's broken. That makes me sad. That is a broken mosquito. That's Myram. We've got a couple of non-broken mosquitoes. Oh, broken sweethearts. Boxes. We got some rubber. Don't say it. Okay, well, we need to find... Oh, that's the outlet. That's the power. Where is... That's the power on switch. That is connect. Electricity cable not found. Yeah. Tell me about it. In there? Grab, that's metal junk. Medium battery. Is there a cable, or is this the cable? That's not the cable. I need to find a cable, and I'm having no luck so far. That is metal junk, metal junk, metal junk. Lots of junk. And that's not like a button I can press. I can grab the crate. Okay, well, we've got those. Are those cables or pipes? That looks like a cable. Can I get up there? Can I move this box and get up there, or perhaps up there? Doesn't look like that will do it. Nor will that get me up there. Connect electric cable and turn on. I'm starting to feel stupid now. Yep, connect, connect, connect. But I cannot find... Let's see, extract, refine, refuel. Move that. Nope, nothing there. That looks like that might be twistable. We've got an outlet and a power. Okay, we don't have a connect option. Let's see. Well, what can we do with our 5? Can I repair something? Just waiting for me to be stuck in a power cord hell for the next 4 hours. Thanks. It's nice to know you've got my back, as always. I mean, those look to be too big. Although maybe not. But I can't reach them in. Oh, oh, there it is. I see a plus up there. Oh, that's a battery. Now, let's see. Can we go up here? We can. We have multiple batteries over there. Okay, good. I grabbed a bunch of batteries. And I'll push the junk metal off, so I may need that later. Okay, I'm looking, but I certainly do not see any obvious, like, power cables or anything. But maybe once we put in some batteries, it'll activate that. Oh, I'm carrying them. Durr. Let's see, I've got some rubber, some glass, some iron, and consumable batteries. Cannot. Okay, can't put those in. Can I put a battery in? Inventory. Drop, add to holster. It's in my holster. Good evening, and welcome back. It does not actually appear to be usable for anything particularly useful. Those are the only tools I've got. Skills. Repair tool. To unlock, I have to hold it. Enhancers. And build. All right. So, what can we fix? Not that. Okay, that worked. But that's an outlet. We're still looking, as best I can tell. It was... Inventory again. Action bar clear, more options. Skills. Repair tool. To unlock, hold. Hold return? Are you kidding me? If that's it, I'm going to be... Activate the main power switch. I did that. Connect a battery cable to the outlet. I would love to. Is the battery cable visible here? Medium battery, medium battery. Is there a cable that I'm just not seeing? There is a cable that I'm just not seeing on the top, I think. Connect to self, hold. I mean, it looks like that was the cable, but maybe not. How about up there? No. Over there? No. This is the first puzzle in the game, and so far I am failing miserably. We've activated the power switch. This is an outlet. I have to connect the outlet. The E is not highlighted, so I can't use the E. Let me also, real quickly. Whoop. Ah! I'm on the other side. Everything looks so different. Okay, we can turn on and off the outlet. Authorized personnel only. So that's working. But as far as I can tell, what we need is a cable. It's very forgiving on what it allows you to do. I'm on top of the cable now. Not that I'm capable of doing anything up here other than being up here. I can see my house from here. Yeah, I know. I always say that. Plastic and rubber. Maybe I can make a tube? Actions. That... I have no... Did I just drop that? I did. There doesn't appear to be anything I can do here. Build. Torch, battery cell, optical lens. These are the only things I know how to build. These are the items: rubber, plastic, iron, and glass. I have different amounts of each. A pound or less. Charge injector. Let's see. I can't read. Okay, I have to reach the higher levels to be able to craft those things. So, engineering, build. The only things I can make: battery part, optical lens. Quest. From darkness, light. Connect the battery cable to the outlet. The implication is that the battery... Connect a medium battery. Was I not carrying a whole bunch of those? Did I not pick those up from up there? All. I seem to have no batteries, despite the fact I picked up a bunch of batteries while I was up there. The batteries are all gone. There's a glow stick. Sure, I'll loot the glow stick. I'm not too proud. Where did the batteries go? That's my inventory. There are no batteries. Oh, right there in the holster, we've got batteries. That's the 4 button. It looks like that is just being used to juice me up. Maybe I can make a battery cell. Actions. Rubber, 5 electricity. Okay, we've got 2 rubber. We need fabric and copper for that. Loot plastic scraps. We'll loot all of that stuff. Okay. We're just gonna loot everything we can from all of the rooms and see if that gives us the stuff we need. Okay, can't loot that. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to hurt you like that, my friend. You got to put things back where you can get them. I think that's really important. Okay, we've got another battery. We looted everything, including some stuff that knocked him on his ass. Sorry. Sorry about that. Really nothing I could do about it. I feel bad. We still only have 2 rubber. We have no fabric or copper. Our inventory now has an electric cable. I guess that one of those things was the electric cable. So now we have the electric cable. Okay, that was not obvious, but...
Good work, Caretaker. Every restored connection brings us closer to reclaiming our home. We've lingered here long enough, Caretaker.
Long enough.
To the docking hangar. There's something important there, waiting to show us our path.
Where waters wait. Make your way to the docking hangar. All right, we can open this now. Rope. We'll loot all. Can we open the duffel bag? Looks like our only option is to grab. and not like loot. Grab duffel bag, connect self. Oh, that's interesting. I connect myself. Oh, to an electric cable. We have another electric cable. Disconnect and reel in the cable. Okay, I apparently have a rubber cable connecting me as well. It's complicated. Echo tape ET home. Make your way to the docking hangar. Use the heal station and restore your health. Optional. Oh. We'll open this. Grab metal. Grab is only useful for moving, not useful for inventory stuff. Grab large crate. Grab broken robot. We've got a crawl space, it looks like. No, it's a window. I'm going to loot the teddy bear. Ha ha! Ha ha! It's a little dark. Humanity is dead, but hey. I've got a teddy bear. These things are all in the way. We'll open that up in a minute. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Use the heal station. Oh, God, that's so good. Oh, my. Oh. And this is the save station. I want to back up my state in case of shutdown. 22 minutes ago, we'll go with that one. Don't you have a backup system at home? If I, got hit by a bus, I would just res right here in my house. Because that's the way real life works. Okay. Well, we're going to move this stuff out of the way. I made some questionable noises. Well, yes, I was getting healed. And we machines, when we get healed, it elicits a sound similar to what a human might experience. We get electrical jolts. You get orgasms. So it's very similar. Okay, that one's very heavy, so we'll remove that first, and then we'll move the other one. Anything over here that I can loot? No. Looks like my energy is very low. So if we go with 4, all right, that's giving us more energy. We used... so the health stations sort of regenerate. And there's my health. Oh, so good. Okay, so something had lowered. I had maybe finished the induction, or maybe there was only so much percentage you could get until it regenerated. Another battery. Some nice pillows, but I'm a robot, so pillows and comfort do not matter. Is there anything in here? Oh, we're back to juicing ourselves up. Well, let's see what this does, shall we? Let's call the elevator. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry you got broken. I'm just curious if there's any particular reason we would want to use the elevator instead of going manually. Presumably it goes up higher. Or maybe it comes up to here and that rotates down, I'm not sure. Nope, that's not what we're looking for. Ah, that's the down, that's the up. So this is going differently. We want to go down. We're going to need to climb the ladders first to get to those platforms and then go back down and take the elevator up. As it looks like the elevator is not directly connected to these platforms. Basically, it goes by them. Loot, a small tree. Battery. Battery. Am I going to have to keep feeding myself batteries non-stop? Because that's going to get old fast. That's going to get really old really fast. Okay, there isn't anything else on this platform. That is already a not me no likey at all kind of deal. And this is where the elevator comes up to, so okay. Well, we'll call that. No. Another battery. You know, if... Oh, that's not expected at all. Okay, they did a lot of electrical damage to me. Looks like about 25 electricity per battery I use. I'm not nuts about that mechanic. The constant drain. It's got to be very slow or it gets to be very annoying very quick.
There she is.
There's the
Your
ship.
vessel. More than just metal and
The
surface.
boat.
It's your freedom. This boat is how you'll reclaim the seas, and perhaps even your identity.
We'll loot everything.
The dock systems are offline. Without them, we're trapped here. Restore the power, Caretaker, so we can sail again.
Alright, we need to restore the power. But in the meantime, my own personal power keeps ticking down. I gotta say, it's just not a mechanic I like. One of the things I liked so much about Aethus is it had an option to, in essence, disable having to sort of slavishly keep food and water in. If you wanted to use them for buffs, certainly. But there was an option to disable sort of the constant clicking clock of food and beverage, constantly having to keep eating and drinking, or, you know, facing dire consequences, shall we say. And I prefer that in my survival games by a large margin. I have reached level 2. I have new skill and enhancer points. Thing is, well, let's see. I'm currently at 33 power. If I go to inventory and I wait a couple of seconds, am I still at 33 power? No, it continues to run. I fucking hate that. That is a terrible system. Where I can't take a little bit of time and look over my options. Whom does that serve? That never is going to be to the player's advantage in any way, form, or fashion. You're going to feel hurried, especially here in the early game, because you don't really know what you're doing, and you don't want to make stupid choices. I can't tell you how much I hate that as a game design choice that they've made. All right, we can't get in there yet. It's not an uncommon choice that game designers will make. I think it's a fucking terrible one. All right, that's power up. All right, do we have a connect this up? No, that must connect down below. And I'm now out of batteries. Small diesel container. Can I connect? I don't know where it's going. The constant ticking clock may make this a non-starter game for me. I may not be able to realistically play this because it's a mechanic I detest so much. Being on a real-time clock, all it does is anger me. All right, this thing's now pumped up. Can I plug myself into this? Okay, now we're getting decent amounts of energy. All right, that's significantly better. Looks like it's about a second, so 500 seconds, about, what, 8 minutes? Still, having to do that every 8 minutes, man, I am not going to like that. I can safely tell you, I am not going to like that. Real-time elements I've always just detested them. Simple as that. Battery, diesel tank, water pump. Net raised. Don't know. That is a diesel cylinder. We've got a burning engine. That's probably not optimal. Reset switch. Sure. Why not? That is... We loot that. Can we open this? We can. That's the recycler. You know, given that I'm a bot who's supposed to be able to do all this stuff, it would be nice if I knew what the hell I was doing. Just saying. Head towards the docks outlet. All right, well, I was kind of just futzing around the docks outlet. Is that not this over here? By outlet, do they mean power outlet or the way to get out of the dock area? That's a little bit of a problem. Restore power to the upper deck to resume operations. They're giving us a puzzle, but they're not giving us much to go on. Let's go ahead and heal. Okay. Oh, we don't need that. And the backup station. We'll back up. Backup completed. That's the diesel tank. That's medium battery. head towards the docks. Out. I have no idea what they mean. Do they mean power outlet, which is the way I would normally use it? That's the pilot, the boat. That's the... Oh, we're anchored. Okay. That's the engine icon. No, that's the engine icon. We got two different icons, I guess. Diesel and electric. Okay. So it can run off diesel power or electric power. That's nice to know, I guess. Oh, we can customize our boat. That's nice. Okay, we do not have power, unsurprisingly. This is a diesel tank. Holds 2,000 liters of diesel. That's a small diesel container. Contains 200. Well, we pick this up. No more cable left. Okay. Can we reach? Not quite. We need just a bit more cable. Right, if that thing is not movable. Huh. Now, if we carry this one, and we plug this one in here, we can get to here. Can we hook the two of them together? No more cables left. Well, that one stretched a long ways before, now it doesn't. This one's got 200 liters. So this one has only 2 meters remaining, and it's not quite going to get there. But maybe if we run it all the way back... Oh my God, could you freaking stop? Not enjoying this mechanic. I'm not sure I'm long for this game, guys. Sadly. Because I'm not sure. The mechanics feel clumsy. The information we're given to play with is pretty minimal. Alright, there it is. Nope, we can still only get the same distance. That doesn't make any sense that that's the same distance. And now I will try to bring it over here and this way and see if this gets us any closer. Maybe. It did. Okay. Of course, maybe I could have just hooked it up here. We'll ignore that possibility. We're going to ignore that possibility because it makes me feel dumb. Yep, that definitely is not something that would have worked at all. And it's important for me that you know that that wouldn't have worked at all. Electrical engine cylinder of 2. 1 of 2. Head towards the... You see, it's still telling me to head towards the dock's outlet, and I have no idea what that means. I mean, if it's supposed to be over here? Because this is as close as I can get? No. Oh, up there. Wow, okay. Did not know. Looks like they actually have quest markers. Which might have been useful to know a little while ago. How? Right now, I'm just spending far too much time being frustrated. Not enough time. Okay, I can't get in there because there's no power to it. Where's their power input anywhere over here? I just feel like I'm playing a puzzle game where I'm not being given enough information, really, right now. I mean, now it's of no further utility to me to know that I want to be up there. And my electricity is getting low again. For no good reason that I can tell. Their implementation of a timed mechanic like that is not working for me. It's a game system I'm not fond of in the first place. Well, okay. That's not especially useful. At least a ways not yet. Was there another one up above? Just a window. Can I bust this? Pull this one off? I can. Use the action bar to turn on. My light's on, thanks. Oh, sorry, dude. You appear to be dead. It's cool, though. Don't worry. I got you covered. I got your shift covered. Don't worry. They won't fire you. Well, I'm where I needed to be. I found the way. Yeah, we ain't got no power. We got a couple of more batteries. Some other stuff. This is an electric cable extender. Sanctuary, no power. Oh, we're carrying all kinds of stuff now. 35 seconds or so each time. It's not exactly floating my boat up. Right, power is flowing in. I can't tell if that's actually doing anything. Doesn't actually seem to be doing anything yet. I gotta, how about do that one? How about we disconnect that and drop that and electric cable and plug that one in. Pardon me. Come over here, since they were already had a cable partially laid. See where that one's going. Up there. It's going into a thing. Oh, okay, all kinds of critters. Yeah, you know. This... A puzzle game where you're not given the information is not fun. I feel like the only things I'm solving is when I stumble over an answer. So this may be a shorter stream. We'll plug ourselves in. And juice ourselves up. Well, yeah, I don't know. That's all I can say, really. I don't know. No power. Okay. How about... That doesn't connect into that. We come over here and we connect it to that. Oh, this is just a super short one. No, it's full 20 meters. So we connect this to that. No, I guess that's a data connection is what that one's for. Alright, we've got power flowing into the battery now, as well as, I think that's a generator? No, that's a battery. They're both batteries. I don't think there's any difference between the two, so now we just have two half-full batteries. Data. So, where would we get the data from? That thing's still burning, which does not generate happy joy feelings. All right, Skills. We have 3 unused skill points. Basic electric engine cylinder, dismantle tool, electric cable extender, fuel cable extender. Enhancers. We have 10 unused enhancer points. Build time reduced and consumption. Increase weight, improved hydraulics, increase internal battery capacity, increases pressure capacity, scrapper, power management. Electric cable enhancer. Extender. Unlock hold. Oh, I guess that's 1 point they'd cost each? Shit. But those, like, had zeros on them. I don't completely understand. That seems to be my mantra this evening. I don't completely understand. Yeah, right now it's still more frustration than ooh, I understand kind of deal. It just feels like I'm grasping at straws most of the time to try and figure out what. This is the battery. It's got 20 meters remaining. Okay, so the diesel tank has 1,000 liters out of 2,000 liters. And the medium battery we are charging up. So we have lights on now, where we didn't before. Fabricator, oxygen, electricity, petrol, diesel, fresh water, and methane. Yeah, we have 1,000 out of 2,000 there, and the electrical is almost halfway full. And this is eventually going to be like the workshop, I'm supposing. This is the fab. Or will be when it grows up. That's the recycler. This is the fab, I guess. No power. Turn on. That's the fab, which allows me to make things. I can now make basic electric engine cylinder, alloy frames, battery cells, optical lenses. That's the recycler. Which we can turn off for now. We can turn this one off for now. There. wired up and ready to go, but I don't know if they have any ancillary usage. This is the end. Batteries go here for charging from the diesel, I'm guessing, or no, the electricity. That's showing power, I think. But I don't know what goes there. I'm assuming it's like a battery to get batteries charged up. And this is the same thing but for petrol. Or gasoline. Water pump. Needs electrical. In which case we've drained that battery, have we? No. We've half drained the battery. Alright. And I think I'm still carrying a few cables and bits. Plug this in over here. It's showing yellow for some reason. Don't know what it's missing. Net raised. Net dropped. Okay, we have a net. Presumably we would use for catching fish, but we're a robot, so I don't know why we'd need fish. And why is all the power out over here now? Did this turn all the power off? It did. Interesting. Okay, I don't think we're burning through any of our power or whatnot right now. I do have to say I would be very appreciative if they gave us more of a description of what the bleep is going on. That's the healing. I'm low on energy. Don't need to worry about the healing, but I am low on energy. Connect and hold to self. Juice myself up again. Alright. We are juiced up again. Boat customization. Repair the outlet using the repair tool. Okay, which outlet was that? Is that the one up there? No, that's not showing anymore. Where is the quest tracker bit? Because I was given no notification when it changed. That I had evidently completed the first part. Despite the fact I don't think I got up there. Leastways, I don't remember it. Repair the outlet using the repair tool. I do not see the quest prompt anywhere. Maybe because I got there and didn't do the thing it was expecting me to do. Repair. Requires iron. Okay. Activate the power.
It's alive again, thanks to you. Each step forward reconnects us to a brighter future. Caretaker, you were never meant to remain bound. These waters were once half
Hey there.
carrying life, purpose.
Good evening. Presumably, I don't know.
Awaits you out there,
Could be morning.
ready to be reclaimed.
Be afternoon. Repair, refuel, and ready the vessel for my journey. Use recycler to extract materials from trash items. We have a backup station. We get the one on the ship and the heal station. Let there be light. A bit dramatic, sure. Is this thing now on? It is. Pico 1.0, loading BIOS, okay. Okay, that's not especially helpful. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say. All right, we now know that we do not want to open that door again on account of there were critters attempting to eat my face. I'm not generally a fan of creatures trying to eat my face. In games, I'm fine with it in real life. All right, repair the boat's diesel engine. Optional. Well, I think I would like to do that. Thank you. That would be the thing that was on fire. I fixed it. Reconnect the engine cylinder to the diesel engine. Is this the engine cylinder? Loot. Diesel engine cylinder. That's not what we wanted. When you're ready, open the dock doors. Well, I've already opened the dock doors, I believe. Yep. I think we've got one up here. Grab that. We got that there. Got to be another blue plug in here somewhere, right? That'll do. Got to juice myself up again. When you're ready, open the dock doors. Well, we need to power up the recycler and get some materials out. So power up the recycler. Interact with the recycler. Let's see, we need iron, plastic, and rubber. Plastic scraps. Tommy. Soft synthetic. Provides comfort, supports emotional stability, and encourages bonding. Okay. Wire scraps. Metal scraps. Fabric scraps. Tech scraps. Basically anything that says scraps, I'm guessing, will go in there. We need to extract a little bit more rubber. Oh, all the stuff drops over there. That's nice. A little bit more rubber. Copper, fabric. This is presumably the finished materials. I'm afraid Tommy's got to go as he looks like he's made out of rubber. No, he's evidently not made out of rubber. I now feel shame for destroying Tommy. An electric cable? Consumable battery, bio-waste, maybe? Tommy comes through alive. Well, intact, I should say, I suppose. We still need 4 more rubber. Well, we'll see if we've missed any obvious trash loot anywhere. Diesel engine, diesel container. I thought I'd opened up the doors, but apparently I did not. Well, I need to do that to sail out anyway. Well, we'll leave this on board. How about... Can we take this tire in and destroy it? Evidently, I can now go swimming. I can swim, guys. I had no idea. I don't remember ever being taught how to swim. Okay, that did not work out quite as well as I had hoped. Can we just sort of... We can sort of lob it overboard. Yeah, he didn't die. He went through the recycler and came out the other side, which is a little bit scary. Okay, that did in fact work. We got 2 rubber out of that. I need 1 more tire to destroy. You see, we still have him there. He weighs about a pound. About a pound, right? Yeah, 500 grams, so that's a little over a pound. And power up the boat. 54% kilowatt hour. So we need more electricity for the boat. Oh, that's the water. Right, that's the water. We still have electricity flowing in. We need to open the dock doors. Could have sworn they were open. All right, that's the station for saving the game and maybe from the bridge we can open it. I have a dangling hose between my legs. Please, write your own jokes. I don't think you need my help for that. Can we open it from over there? No, it's open again, see? It's open. I wonder what happens to that. Yeah, I can stop with the horn now. That'd be fine. I'm going about 9 miles an hour right now. Well,
This vessel is more than just machinery. It's your refuge. Your home now.
got this game Division 2 when it was on sale for $2.
Reclaim the waters humanity
I loved the
has
first Division, but for some reason Division 2 just never ever grabbed me anywhere near the way Division 1 did.
illuminate our way. Beacon
But yeah, it has got a lot going for it.
the first step.
And for $2, yeah, you don't require a whole lot of play from a $2 game to be worth it. And even though I never got into the game when it launched, and I tried a couple more times, I can't say I really regret it. I just didn't get as much out as I hoped. Unlike, say, Division 1, where I played the living hell out of Division 1. Well, we're going 18 kilometers an hour, and it's 1.8 kilometers away. So that is about 1/10 of an hour, which would be 6 minutes. Should have got both. They were both $2 because more landmarks. You thought that would be fun. Yeah, that is one of the good things about it. Is it's really cool that you're running around in DC. The New York was more. The New York in Division 1 was more like it's New York, but you don't have most of the landmarks. Yeah. You know, the landmarks in New York are privately owned for the most part. The landmarks in DC are public, so it's a lot easier to represent those in your game. Yeah, so I would agree with your logic. And you know, the Division 1 had its rough edges, so there's no reason to assume that necessarily you would prefer Division 1 to Division 2. One thing I really, really liked about the Division 1, and I guess it was kind of the first game that ever had any sort of survival mode in it that I'd ever played, and I loved that mode. And since then, in the last couple of years, I've really gotten into survival crafting games. And I think some of it may actually come from the cold weather survival mode that they added a couple of years after launch to Division 1. They never brought it into Division 2. I loved it. I thought it was a blast. I need more energy. We can disconnect this for now. We're not using the water pump. And we'll plug ourselves into this and get our juice up. I have not played Wuthering Waves, no. Well, I mean, a lot of people liked it. The gameplay didn't really grab me personally, but again, that is a me thing, not a game thing. And for better or worse, if not both, I have something of a... I am exhausted in the constant drumbeat of Asian games that I find have an enormous amount of self-similarity. I find most of them, they all use, for the most part, not most, for a large part, they use animations, anime-looking characters, anime camera movements, and I just find the entire Asian game infrastructure to be very, very repetitive. And so it takes something unusual from them to get my attention. And Wuthering Waves did not. The last one of the Asian games that grabbed me because it was doing something very different was Lost Ark. And the gameplay in Lost Ark was great. The monetization and progression became increasingly punitive. But the gameplay, first rate. And again, my understanding is a game like Wuthering Waves is the gameplay is very, very good. I'm just kind of tired of the same way you keep seeing Western studios bringing out extraction shooters. And, you know, you look at, well, not just Western, but Eastern as well. I mean, Concord blew up for Sony. And by blew up, I mean like blew up on launch. Exploded, not good. And now they've got Marathon, which is doing okay, but probably not worth the amount of money they put in. Is that like a cybernetic it's a cybernetic shark that's following around? Okay. Things become flavor of the month. Yeah, well, and there was a period, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago where everyone was grinding out MOBAs and they were mostly detonating on launch too. The real problem isn't that you're trying to make a MOBA or an extraction shooter or anything else that has suddenly become a big hit. It's the problem is for a bigger studio, it's going to take 4 or 5 years. And 4 or 5 years is too long. Even if the genre or subgenre is still popular, the odds are yours is not going to get any traction. So this is 49, and I have to learn the basics of fabrication and fabricate a Loomlight solar panel. Now I bounced off. We don't want to bounce off. We want to be like right next to it. How close am I? How about we drop anchor? At least I assume that dropped the anchor. It did. Okay. Well, there are, a lot of times games that follow the trend quickly do very, very well indeed, especially if, they're learning from the mistakes the other guys made. But the problem is the big studios, they take 2 years to realize there's a game that's a trend, and then they take 3 or 4 or 5 years to make the game, and the game doesn't offer anything new. Concord would be a perfect example. All right, we've got metal barrels. Death Stranding is like, well, the thing is, I can go off on a rant about Death Stranding and Kojima. I think Kojima, as a game designer, he makes interesting, deep, inventive game mechanics. Oh, no. That's not, I don't like these things. The problem is he couldn't construct a coherent narrative if his life depended on it. And so Death Stranding might have interesting mechanics, but there is nobody in gaming quite as far up their own ass as Hideo Kojima. All right, they're just running around and... Wait, one of them hit me? Oh, hit. There he is. Aha! I destroyed one. Does have... Well, I'm not one to judge hot or not. He's always looked grubby. And I think that's part of the attraction for some people is that he's always looked grubby. Well, and he got hired for the job because Kojima liked him in The Walking Dead, and then because he loves Del Toro, he brought him in for cameos, and it's basically just actors that I like. I'm going to put in roles even if they make no sense. It's going to have, a baby in a whoa, everybody's coming. A baby in a bucket, because I feel like having a baby in the bucket. Kojima just does whatever enters his mind he thinks is a great idea, because enough people have told him that everything he does is brilliant. I will also note that Jeff Kiley is the worst offender when it comes to worshiping everything Hideo Kojima invents. So I'm not interested particularly, personally, in Death Stranding because it's filled with his nonsense. There were actually a lot of things about it I found really annoying. Oh, we've got... This place is overrun with bugs and stuff. Is there anything down below? Anything else over here? Well, some more junk that I can get and recycle and stuff. So I am not one who worships at the Church of Kojima. His most famous creation, Solid Snake, he stole. He admits it, he stole it. Now, John Carpenter doesn't mind that he stole the character of Snake Plissken. I do. And if you've ever read, because I was curious about the Solid Gear games that, is what he's most famous for. And so I was interested in them. And so I looked up out of curiosity because I saw something about one of them and I went, that's really weird. And I wanted to know what the story was about. And so I looked up a synopsis of what the story was about. Or for all the games. I mean, not just one. It was like a synopsis of all of the Metal Gear games. And it was hilariously deranged. There's no narrative there at all. And so that's one of the things that I've always held strongly against Kojima is he writes nonsense, narrative nonsense, and people treat it like it's genius. And that just bugs me. Is that actually on? I don't know. We do have a couple more batteries that we just picked up. Where are they? That? Yeah, consumable battery. All right, that's R. We have 5 of them. Juice myself up a little bit. Oh, there's all kinds of moving things in there. You know, other than whacking things with a wrench, I have no idea how to deal with any kind of critter or anything. Because this thing explodes into those little robotic little dudes. Like that. Metal Gear had a story. Yeah, just skip the cutscenes. Yeah, you know, the mechanics. That's why I said I think mechanically he is a gifted game designer. He comes with interesting, unique, deep, cool game mechanics. And he absolutely deserves being famous for the things he does well. But the narratives? Wow. It's nonsense. His narratives, generally speaking. All right, did this thing not just give off a bunch of those critters? And did it grow back? Is that what happened there? It grows back. Okay. Yeah. I've had enough of the quirks on this game. Respawning critters and mobs, no. Puzzles that don't give you enough information, no. It feels kind of clumsy when you're playing it. And now maybe I can't get back on board my ship. Okay, that time I could. I have no power, electricity, cost. Does look a bit like something you would make for a game jam, not gonna lie. I think it's got some good ideas in it so far. I think the first person is a hard sell. I don't think, from what I've seen so far, it's a good fit for the game. It does add a good deal of immersion, which I suppose is primarily the reason why. And I can't argue with the immersion. That's a reasonable game decision to have made. But the problem solving has not been particularly interesting. It has consisted of a lot of, is this going to work? Does this work? Why doesn't that work? Is this going to work? It's got good reviews, and I certainly not meaning to slag on it. It's got stuff that I think is cool, but as a whole, I just think that a big thing for me in games is friction versus frustration. And I just finished playing Aethus last night, and I had a couple points there where frustration surpassed friction. And in this one, it seems like almost all of the friction has included some frustration for me. It just feels like we're not getting enough information to do the stuff we're supposed to do frequently. And learn the basics of fabrication. Let me take a look at the fab, which is in here. And I don't have access to the Lumilite. Glow stick, replica scanner, whisper, wind power generator, electric pistol. Okay, well, I mean, I could make that. That would help for dealing with things, I suppose. There's the Lumilite. Flamethrower would go hard. Well, it depends. They are metal. Maybe the electric pistol works better. If they were organic, I think you're onto something. That's a really clumsy user interface element. Really clumsy. Need 6 solar cells. Needs 1 solar cell? Is it saying I have 6? Build. Build requires a flat surface. Well, it's supposed to be like a a solar cell, so. Oh. Looks like it does need all of those parts. Okay. And how about the gun? Electronics hate heat. I don't know. As long as you don't exceed the CPU heat point. Waiting for materials. Okay. Yeah, it needs a lot of stuff that I would have to make. I think I am going to call it an evening here. I don't want to hit the 2-hour mark because I am going to refund it. I've just found the frustration to be too high and the game not interesting enough for me. It might get there, but how many more hours am I going to have to put in before I'm actually, impressed? I wouldn't, recommend against anyone who finds it looking interesting. I'm not a fan of the first-person view, although I understand for immersion why. A lot of the puzzles have seemed unintuitive. And, right from the very start, they weren't really telling you much. And since I'm supposed to be a bot that knows how to do things, repair things and stuff, it just seems a little odd that me, the human, is bouncing around like crazy trying to figure stuff out. So it's not bad. It just, I'm not impressed enough that I'm willing to actually spend the money on the rest. Okay. I do want to thank you guys for hanging out, as always. I am very appreciative. So the deal for tomorrow, I'm not certain. I'm certain of part of the deal for tomorrow. At 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, morning in Europe, and afternoon in Australia, Asia, and New Zealand. At least I think those numbers are right. I will be playing Marvel Heroes as the new emulated server is coming up. Midnight Eastern, Friday night, 9 p.m. Pacific time. I'm looking forward to that. I will stream that. Granted, that's not at a great time for many of the people who hang out here. I'm not in charge of the server. So I'll be playing that. I may or may not be streaming, run a stream at the usual time of 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe, morning in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand. But probably we'll stream something. It might be a shorter stream because of the later stream that evening. Not sure what I'll be playing. But I do want to thank you guys for hanging out. Hopefully you'll see me soon. Back tomorrow, almost certainly at the usual time, and definitely at 9 p.m. Pacific for Marvel Heroes. If you're not familiar with the game, it was a action role-playing game, an ARPG / MMORPG, or if you prefer, an MMOARPG. From Gazillion, lead designer was Dave Brevik, same guy who did Diablo 1 and 2. And it plays a lot like Diablo 1 and 2. It's in the Marvel Universe. You unlock heroes and sidekicks, and you defeat bad guys and level up and get gear and, kind of the ARPG standards. And when they shut it down just before Thor Ragnarok was released, I had all of the heroes at the maximum level, and some of them at higher than the maximum level because you can restart a character at level 1, and when you hit level 60, they'll change the color on the name of your character. And there were like 8 tiers of 7 or 8, 6 or 8, something like that, tiers of progression, where you could redo the character over and over again for a more prestigious color. I think top tier was Cosmic, which was yellow. Prestige leveling. And that's tomorrow as well. Again, thanks, guys, for hanging. Hopefully you'll see me soon. Hope the rest of your Thursday goes reasonably well and your Friday goes quick so you can get into the weekend because you deserve a nice weekend. Back tomorrow. Take care and